Hey everybody, Mr. Mayfield here. I'm having a great day. I hope you are too. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not a great day, but yeah. So anyway, we're gonna be doing a video today on how to make these two papers into a foldable. So you're gonna start out taking this right here, and you're gonna cut it into 3 columns. It doesn't have to be perfect. So just cut it down like this. Now you got 3 of these. All right. Now, if you haven't guessed it, this is going to be about metals, nonmetals, and metalloids, since that's what we've been learning about lately. Now, each of these right here, there's different properties right here. So you got to figure out which one's metals, which one's nonmetals, and which one's metalloids. So we'll go ahead and look at these a little closer and fill those in. So it says right here, blank are usually silver gray in color, solids at room temperature except mercury, reflect light, can be bent or hammered, meaning they're malleable. They can be made into wires. They're ductile, and the list goes on. So by now, you should be able to figure out that this is a group of elements called metals. So fill that in. Then this one says they're usually solid liquids or gases at room temperature. They do not reflect light well. They're brittle. They cannot be hammered flat. They're not ductile, etc. So this is basically opposite. These are nonmetals. And then this group is the oddball one. It describes their properties here. These would be called metalloids because that's the only group we have left. So now you have a description of each one, and it's kind of small, so we could put it in the foldable. What we'll do now is we'll cut these out because we're going to glue them into the foldable a little bit later. So that's one for metals, and then I'm going to trim the top of that off. There's the one for nonmetals. Then we have metalloids. I'll trim the bottom off. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. Now I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to put this on there. So this one, I picked metals. So what you'll do is you'll just glue that on right there. If you don't like to use glue, you can use tape, which is what I like to do. Okay, now we're going to fold this. So we're going to fold the bottom up to there, where it comes right up against the bottom of the periodic table there. And we'll fold that. And then you're going to bring the top down like this. And since that was the descriptor for metals, we're going to put on this little flap right here that's going to be on the front. Metals. Now, later on we'll come back and shade those in, but let's just sit that one aside. You're going to repeat these steps for nonmetals and metalloids. So this one would be nonmetals. And again, you're going to fold this up like that, just like you did the last one. Okay. And then you'll fold this down. And since this is nonmetals, we'll write non-metals. Now, notice the edges are kind of like not lining up real nicely. So if you want to trim that up, you can. If you don't mind it, then you can just leave it how it is. I'm just going to leave mine how it is. But you're welcome to trim it up if you like to. So I'm going to set that one aside. And then we'll do the last one for metalloids. And fold this up like so. And then fold this one down and label it metalloids. Alright, so now we have 3 of these, and what we need to do now is get them shaded in. For this next step, you're going to need either some markers or color pencils. And you can pick like whatever color you want. I'm going to pick a red one. So on the metals, we're going to go in. This is the metals. We're going to go into this section right here and just kind of make this stair step that we talked about in class that divides metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Like that. And then we're going to shade where the metals are. So we're basically going to be doing this box right here. This would be aluminum, and it's the only metal that's right along the stair step right here. And then we'll do this box, and this box, and this box, and this box. Okay, so this is kind of going to be the edge here. And then basically everything else on this side, except this one up here, that's hydrogen, will be shaded. Okay, and hydrogen is a nonmetal, so we're not going to shade that one. Now that I have the edges, I'm just going to go ahead and shade the whole section in. If you want to do it with a color, you can, but you don't have to. And I'm also going to shade this section down here. These are all metals. Alright, so we got metals done. Set that aside. Do the same thing for non-metals. Start by making the red line. And then we're going to shade where the non-metals are. Now keep in mind, we do have, adjust this. We do have this one over here that's a non-metal, hydrogen. It's the only element that's a non-metal that's on the left side of the stairs. Okay, and now pretty much everything from this box, if you just go diagonally down, these are all non-metals. So let me shade in the rest. And we're done with the non-metals. So let's move on to the metalloids. Just like before, we're going to make a stair step. Okay, and then we're going to shade. Now, keep in mind, everything that the stair step touches is going to be a metalloid, except this one, which is a metal. That's aluminum. And while I'm doing this, I want to remind you guys, if you look each of these up, like say on Wikipedia or another website that deals with elements, some of these that we say are metalloids might not be considered metalloids by all scientists. Like for example, polonium is considered a metal by many scientists. So it's not exactly universally agreed upon with all scientists. But for the purpose of my class, we're going to say that all of them that touch the stairs except aluminum are metalloids. Okay, so there's your metalloids. Last thing we need to do is get this glued into our IMBs. So I'm going to take these 3, set them aside, and get my IMB. The very next page that we haven't used would be page 21. And we'll put metals at the top, and then non-metals here, and then metalloids on the bottom. So they all fit on there like that. And you're going to glue them in or tape them. If you glue, you're just going to glue on this section right here and stick it on there. But like I said, you can also use tape if you'd like. And then once they're glued in, you can open and close them when you're using them or not using them. All right, so that's pretty much it. Just finish gluing those in and you're good.